Take a good look, open the book, analyze with a hook to the body, 1, 2, and then I say.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're bringing back Shepp from sunny Florida. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. It's been a few weeks since we've done one of these, so we got some major stuff to catch up on. Let's start with what's affecting your state, Hurricane Florida, and the damage and destruction that it's done down there. So break it down for us.
Yeah, that was Hurricane Ivan. It actually landed in Fort Myers, but they thought it was going to come up straight through Central Florida, but it didn't. So where I live in Central Florida, I live in Marion County. So that's close to Tampa and Orlando. And Orlando, I believe they have Kissimmee. Kissimmee was hit pretty hard. Everything on the, I would guess that's the West Coast, was hit pretty hard, like Sanibel Island. I've been there before, and that's been pretty much wiped away. Yeah, that's the Gulf side.
Okay.
So other than that, where we are in Central Florida, things are pretty okay, but it's towards the west, and I guess some places like southwest of Florida. I'm don't quote me on that, but have been really hit pretty bad. And of course, in all these major storms, right? Let's take for instance Katrina. What happened to Katrina? A lot of Black people died. They just weren't given
the short end of the stick, right?
Yeah, they just weren't afforded basic services. So I guess it was like last week sometime. Well, after the hurricane hit, the vice president made a statement saying aid will be doled out equitably, And the thing I don't I don't get is that some of these cats built $1 million homes on the beach in Florida. Let me say that again. $1 million homes on the beach in Florida, hurricane territory. Now they want aid. They want help.
I mean, let's take this for what it is real quick. The state of Florida, it's a peninsula sitting out in the middle of the damn ocean. You get all sorts of tropical cyclones and hurricanes, whatever you want to call it, running across the state of Florida, up the East Coast, West Coast. Whatever. So I think Florida's a beautiful state. Don't get me wrong, and that's where our family's from, on our mother's father's side. But ain't no way in the world I live in Florida. Just no.
Yeah. But hopefully those people get the help that they need. So that's all we can say on that.
Right.
On that front. So and then you got crazy ass Ron DeSantis, Trump's water
governor.
I didn't vote for him.
Come on, I got to give you your heart way to go. You got some of these politicians. And you don't talk about. You got some Republicans voting against their own interests. Oh no, we can't do aid because it might be tied to this or tied to that. I'm just like, if you got people in need down there, help them out. The hell of the politics. You figure that shit out later on.
Yeah, you know what? Like I mentioned in the last time we talked, it's all about these guys are all opportunists. They lick their finger and point it up to the wind to see which way it's blowing, and then they go that way. They don't stand on principle.
Yeah, that's true. Whatever's going to get their base out to vote for them and to get them, dare I say, cool talking points, or we serve those libs up, or we serve those Republicans up, or whatever, because both sides are guilty to it to a point. Instead of taking care of all the constituents.
Who says that uh, being a member of Congress is a lifelong term, or the Senate? To my knowledge, the Supreme Court is the only place you get to have a lifelong term.
Well, that and all federal judge appointments are lifetime appointments also too. I think just because the court system in general has become so politicized, I think that needs to be reevaluated. I think they need to put term limits on federal judges, especially the Supreme Court. And same thing probably with both houses of Congress. You can serve this amount of time,
Correct.
then get out of the government, go back to the private sector, and do whatever the hell that you were doing
Time
before.
to go. When you're in the wheelchair, you don't know what a goddamn iPhone is. When you're 90,
Right.
you know. So how can you legislate on things that you have no knowledge about?
Yeah,
But
I
anyway,
agree. And like in some countries don't hold me to this on the exact age, but like I know for the UK, for example, it's just like after you get to a certain age, you can't serve on the courts anymore or on this part of the government. It's like you're done. I mean, so and
yeah.
I think that we definitely need to reevaluate, how we go about governing and let these people stay in office. In some cases, they're senile, have no idea what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my own opinion. And then like other times, they've been so long they're on the take that it's been completely corrupted, and it's both sides.
Yeah.
It ain't just the Democrats, it ain't just the Republicans, it's all of them.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Opportunists.
Opportunists indeed.
What else you got going on, bro?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just going to say, to all the residents of Florida, who were affected by the storm, hope that if you choose to stay in Florida, that you're able to, rebuild your lives, and hopefully you can get the resources and the help that you need to rebuild your property and stuff to what they call the Miami standard now, which can basically withstand a Cat 4 or Cat 5 storm. And I've got a friend of mine that she was affected. I mean, and like her last place got completely destroyed. And today's her birthday, actually. So I won't put her out there on blast, but good luck to you, kiddo. And I hope things improve for you. So moving on to the next thing, and just because there was everything going on with Ian, pretty much not too long after this happened, but your queen passed away.
Oh, the colonizer, huh?
The colonizer, yes. And for anybody out there who may be British, and I don't care if you're black, white, or whatever, you can reach me on this email below, and I also put it in the description because I would love to talk to some British folks about their take on the whole monarchy and everything else, and the amount of money they pay these people to do, and I don't get it. And we threw them out a couple hundred years ago. So what's the deal anyway? But go ahead.
Yeah, ask yourself this: what do they do?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I don't. I mean, I watched the funeral stuff. Yeah, it was cool. They had all the various people in ceremonial garb from hundreds of years ago doing marches and doing this and the beef eaters and all that. Yeah, it was cool shit to watch, but how much money did the British taxpayer pay for that elaborate state funeral? I mean, it was crazy.
How long was that funeral? Like 7 days or some shit?
Well, I know there was there was a period of mourning. And I don't know the exact numbers on it, but I think 7 days, and then they had the whole state funeral, and then it was like another 7 days afterwards. So I don't know. That's why I need somebody British on here who can explain this whole thing to me, because I'm just like, okay.
They carry all those motherfuckers in a lead silk coffin.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think lead's exactly cheap either. Once again, it's just like, how much money are the British taxpayers on the hook for all this shit for? But anyway, as I digress.
Yeah.
But
So the queen died. So what else happened?
yeah, so
Ivan,
yeah, he died,
queen.
she dies, Prince Charles becomes king. And then of course, there's the whole shuffling match with all the royals and everything else, and you got the Duke and the Duke and Duchess of whatever, Harry and Meghan, they're here in the States or whatever. And I can maybe see from his point of view, maybe it's like, well,
He
maybe
must got some good pussy.
right.
I'll be running
maybe
from that bitch because
yeah.
she on some shit.
Yeah, but
That's what
really, I mean,
happens
they
when
kind of went up plus the
that
whole thing, whatever. I don't know.
that dairy milk white get a hold of some brown sugar. Can't yeah. They was right. Run from that bitch. That's that Kardashian boo. She's cursed.
Well, they're doing their thing over here now. So anyway,
Gotcha.
but yeah, like I said, I mean that whole thing with I mean that hell, I thought black funerals were long. This thing lasted like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, damn, name drop this woman in the ground yet? Shit,
Right.
you know,
Now
she
I
got
mean,
to be
like,
decaying.